Okay, guys, welcome to the Chosen One podcast show. If you landed on this podcast episode, you are probably a manifesting generator and a female entrepreneur, coach, or expert. So, welcome, take a cup of tea, and binge listen to all the amazing episodes I have set up for you. Episodes to help you create the right energy and mindset to create the manifesting generator business and life of your dreams. Here we go. Okay, queens. I don't know if it's a movie. I think it's a movie. How Stella got her groove back. I'm not sure. It's like a line which is in my mind. And this is how I feel today. Like if you listen to my episode 2 episodes back, you could feel like I was like a little bit like in a twilight zone because I hadn't had my Tuesday off for a while, for like a couple of weeks. And today I'm like, oh my God, I guess I can literally feel the energy shifting. And I just feel like, oh, Stella's getting her groove back. That's the kind of vibe I'm in. Okay, so what do I want to talk about today? So, oh my goodness, guys. I'm like in my office, and at the same time, I'm like walking upstairs, folding the laundry. I have my vacuum cleaner upstairs, so I will be vacuum cleaning in a couple of minutes after this episode. Then I will go back to my computer, write down some inspiration. I have done so much today, and it all felt super yummy, super juicy, and it gives me so much this fulfillment, right? Because I love being present in my business, right? My business is it is part of who I am, right? So of course it's a separate thing from me, but at the same time, it is my soul's mission, right? It's not a task for me to be present in my business. So whenever it does start feeling that way, I know I'm not living my design. I know I'm doing something that is not in line with who I am. And 9 out of 10 times it has to do with, do I have enough time for myself, right? But today I definitely have a lot of time for myself. And like I said, I have enough, like one Tuesday in a week is enough for me. But I have come to the conclusion that Tuesday is pretty holy. So thank you, Mom, for babysitting our beautiful daughter on Tuesday. By the way, all the other days, of course, my husband is with my daughter as well, but that's different. Like having my mom here, like everybody who has an amazing mom like me knows, right? If you have your mom take care of your child, it's like, I don't have to think about anything. You know how men are, right? Men are men, but mothers are mothers. Like they just you can just let go, relax, and be like, she got it covered, right? She raised me. She can take care of my baby. So that being said, I wanted to dive a little bit deeper into the core values of running a unique MG business and why I am so invested in this topic and why I care so much about it and why it is such a big part of my mission to help you create your own amazing MG business in a way that is truly aligned to who you are and the way you are designed, right? And in my sales webinar, I actually always talk about a couple of my clients. And the reason why I do that is because it is so important to understand that when we commit to running our own successful business, it is never about the money. It's never about the numbers. It can feel sometimes that it is, right? It's all about the numbers. It's all about how much money you make. It's all about how much followers you have, how much likes you get, how much subscribers you have. Of course, it's all a part of our business, but it's not the reason why we do what we do. And if I look at these 3 women that I always use in my webinars as an example, if I look at them, I have to mention this for any manifesting generator. Everything I do in my business is primarily, first and foremost, for me to get clarity, right? So if I create a webinar or if I create a sales page or if I do anything, it's always primarily to get my energy like aligned again and to get clarity. And if I'm clear in my energy, I just become a magnet for miracles. That's just basically how it works, right? So whenever I work on my webinars and I get to include these amazing stories of my clients, it really reminds me as well, like, why am I doing this, right? Why do I do all these uncomfortable things? Because again, guys, I do uncomfortable things so often, right? I do the uncomfortable all the time. I feel like this whole business journey is uncomfortable for the ego, right? I mean, if it's up to my ego, it would do something that is way, 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 way less uncomfortable. But I'm not here to live a comfortable life. I'm here to live a life with impact. And that always means doing things that are uncomfortable, because in the uncomfortableness, there is the growth, there's the love, there's the joy, there's the excitement, there's the like, oh my God, guys, we did it. It worked. That kind of energy, right? So whenever I look at these clients, I'm like, oh yes, this is why we do it. This is why we do it. And I want to give an example of one of the clients that worked with me recently. She also worked with me a couple of years ago. She's actually a very well-established entrepreneur here in the Netherlands. And when she came to me, she was like, oh my God. So like, she's like your typical MG, right? I work with different types of MGs, of course. And within the MGs, you have like the next level category MGs. And those are the MGs who are like true go-getters, right? So I'm definitely a go-getter, right? I mean, literally, you can't stop me. If I want something, I go for it. And I had this conversation the other day with my neighbor. She is an entrepreneur as well. She just started like her own photographer business. And she asked me a couple of questions, and she's still in her job as well, and she's about to make that transition. And she basically asked me, how did I do that? And I basically said, well, I sort of went in cold turkey, and I truly believe that you have to throw away your old shoes before you buy new ones, because when you throw away your old shoes, you have the necessity to actually buy those new ones, where a lot of people actually think the other way around. They're like, okay, I just hold on to my old shoes until I have new ones. I don't believe in that, because it just like keeps you way too comfortable. Like if you have to go out in the winter barefooted, you'll find a way to get new shoes, right? So, and if you still have shoes, even though if they're ugly, but if you still have shoes, you're too comfortable to go out of your comfort zone to get those new shoes, if you get what I mean. Anyways, we had this conversation about it, and I basically told her, like, for me, it was like, once I made that decision to go for my dream, even though I didn't even know what my dream was in 2017, I only knew I had this dream of helping other women. I didn't know with what, I didn't know any details, I didn't know any of that. I just had this dream of helping other people and being an entrepreneur, because entrepreneurship is in my blood, right? I'm not cut out for a 9-to-5 job. I need my freedom. And I, as a typical MG, also love the excitement that comes with being an entrepreneur, right? I mean, some people don't like it. I love it. I almost think like it's a little bit addictive sometimes as well. I watched a movie the other day about the Beckhams. It's a series on Netflix about the Beckhams, and that's actually an English soccer player. And he was talking about like how every soccer player, or I think every athlete, is basically addicted to the adrenaline, is that the right word? Rush that comes when you actually make a goal, right? And I feel like if you are an MG like me, you have that same thing going on. You just love chasing those successes, right? And I was watching the Kardashians the other day, and they were sort of like talking to Kim why she always needs something else, and why she's also like always pursuing another launch or another career or anything. And she was like the same. Like she was like, I love that adrenaline rush that comes with it, right? And that's for me too. I just love it when I see other clients of mine make amazing results. I love seeing it when they actually make a lot of money or create crazy results. Like one of my current clients, she's like doing amazing things in the fashion industry. I'm like, oh my God, this is blowing my mind. I love witnessing that, right? I love making money myself. I love making like huge numbers or unexpected numbers or out of the box things. Those things light me up, right? And so I was talking to this neighbor about that, and I was like, from the moment I decided to go and run my business, for me, it was never, ever an option to go back and work for a boss again. Like this is in my blood. Like this is not something I'm trying out. This is not something it's like, let me see if this works for me. I am all in. I mean, I would rather sell everything I have and live under a bridge with my husband and my child than go work for a how do you say that? A boss. That's basically my mindset. So, of course, that makes like having that mindset really makes that I have to do out of my comfort zone things, because that in my mind is just simply not an option. So therefore, I have to do other uncomfortable things to make it work, right? And go out of my comfort zone, because I have to make it successful, because there is no plan B, right? So I don't even know how I got on this rampage here, but I just needed to share that with you. So, oh yeah, I remember why I was talking about this, because I have these 3 clients that I always use an example, and all 3 are very different, and I love them all with all of my heart. But this one client is like, she's like similar to me in that regard, that she's like, I'm all in. There's no other way out. Like this is just like, this is it, right? There's only forward, but there's definitely not, there's no way to go back to my old situation. Okay, take a deep breath, Sophie. Okay, so what I love about her is that when she started working with me, she just had a child. And I think what draws women who are really go-getters as well to me is that I absolutely have that go-getters mentality, but I also am a lot of the time, not always, but most of the time, pretty aligned in my energy. So I have really crafted a way to stay in my lane, to not get too distracted by what's happening on Instagram. Like I said, I'm definitely not perfect, so sometimes I just have a little detour. Like I said, that usually has to do when I reserve too little time for myself. But overall, I'm pretty good at being very aligned in my energy. And I think that's actually what draws these women to me, because a lot of women who are go-getters like me as well also really have the tendency to be like super active, for example, on Instagram, and really are sometimes stuck in that rat race and always feel like they have to do the next thing and go-getters, and like it's sometimes really hard for them to find a sort of a peace of mind, basically. And when she came to me, she just gave birth to her child, and she was like, you know what? It feels like having a child is sort of like something I do, like it's like a side job, like it's something I do in addition to my business. And she's like, that shouldn't be the case. I want that to be the other way around. I want to take care of my child. That is something that I want my whole heart to be in. And then actually, the business should be something that I do besides that, right? So she was like, I really need to work with you again to find my groove back. That's basically what she said. I really need to find my groove back. I need to become centered in my energy again and figure out like what is the way I want to go. So we had a couple of sessions. Of course, as a typical MG, she figured it out super fast, made a strategy for herself, and she really managed within literally a month to like turn over her complete business from working mostly one-on-one with her clients for a high price though, but a high price portal she had, but really a lot of one-on-one time, to a business that now runs pretty automatically, right? So she has like orders coming in all day through automated portals, and then she only does exclusive one-on-one or coaching portals with clients she really desires to work with. So this gives her a lot of free space to actually enjoy her family, her child, her life, right? And this is not a business model that suits everybody, but for this particular client, that was like the way to go, right? So this is something I find very important in any portal I host, and of course in the MG Dream Academy as well. We always look for what is that the thing that you desire and what is the way to get you there, right? It always has to be a way that is aligned to your specific energy. So this is why I love working with different types of manifesting generators. So we can always tune into what works for you and what is your true desire. And this is also this is also why I love the way I have designed the MG Dream Academy business, because it is a creative workspace / mastermind, which lasts 3 months. And in those 3 months, you have the possibility to really build your business in a way that is really aligned to you. So I love that. And I love the fact that when I looked at her story and when I remembered her story, I was like, you know what? Running a successful business isn't just, like I said, it's not about the numbers. It's about being great moms. It's about being an inspiration to our children, right? Like, think about like how everything is changing in the world right now. And I have a very strong opinion about that. We raise our daughter in a different way than most people do. She doesn't go to daycare. We're not even sure if we want to have her go to a regular school. Well, regular school for sure not, but like to school at all. We're also thinking about out of the box ways to actually give her education. I feel like the world is so much changing, and I feel like the next generation is also like really invited to like maybe become entrepreneurs themselves. Like it does, like 50 years ago, it was like you have to go to school, you have to get an education, and this is the only way you get a good job. But nowadays, like the world is your oyster. You can do anything you like, right? So think about the type of examples that we are to our children when they look at their moms and like, oh my goodness, my mom is doing the coolest thing, right? She's doing like these crazy out of the box things to make money, and she's providing for us, and we're able to do all kinds of cool stuff. We can travel, we can buy beautiful stuff, we can give away money. So we love giving away money. We have these women who comes like sell these newspapers for homeless people. She's homeless herself as well, and she sells them, and every time we see her we give her money. So this weekend was the first time that we saw her while we had our daughter with us. So we went to the bank, we got money out of the bank for like the ATM for her. We gave it to my daughter, and my daughter gave it to her. Like, what a great memory to give her, right? That she could like that she has these memories of giving away money to other people who can really use the money, right? So this is what it's about. Like being an entrepreneur, like building this business for ourselves is not just for ourselves. It makes us better moms. It makes us better people. We become an inspiration for other people. Like if I think about this other client, when she came to me, she didn't actually know what she wanted to do. She didn't even want to do the portal with me. She came to one of my free classes that I hosted back then, like a webinar or like a challenge or I don't know what. And she like really made the commitment with herself up front. Like, there is no way I'm going to purchase something because I have done so much coaching portals. I have done so much. I really do not want another coach or coaching portal. I don't want it. I don't even have the money. I don't want to do this, right? But then somehow she came in contact with my energy. And she's like, oh my God, I feel this higher calling. I have to do it. I have to do it. So she invested in a 10K portal with me, right? Not even a small portal, but a 10K portal. She's like, I don't know. I have this voice. I just have to do it. So we start working together, but she doesn't even really have a desire at that stage. She only knew that she needed to work with me, but she didn't know what we were supposed to do. She didn't even know what she desired or wanted to do. So the first couple of weeks, she was like, sort of like, okay, let's get some clarity or something. And we started working together. And this is something I explained in my webinar as well. I always implement guarantee exercises because through guarantee exercises, I can make people do next level things. And if people don't do the exercises that my guys are showing me for them, they're not getting the results, right? So I love having guarantee assignments included in my portals, which is a big part of the MG Dream Academy, because I actually say that you earn back the investment if you do all the guarantee exercises. And I know for a fact that you will 100% will earn back the investment. And if you don't, I will coach you one-on-one to make sure you will. But I know if you do the exercises, you will get back the money or earn back the money. And the same was with this client, and she at a certain point she was like, Sophie, there's not so much happening. And I told her, like, are you doing the thing that I'm telling you to do? Did you do the assignment? And she's like, no, not really. I'm like, okay, until you do it, I can't work with you, because if you're not doing it, the transformation won't happen. So she was like, okay, fuck it, I will do it. It wasn't even really an out of the box assignment in her case. I thought the assignment was that she had to go offline for 72 hours or something, just to create some freaking peace of mind, because, oh my God, how can you receive downloads if you're all the time on social media? It's literally impossible, but a lot of us are addicted to it. So sometimes I have to pressure my clients to do that. And she did that. And then all of a sudden she calls me up. She's like, Sophie, I know what I want. And she shows me this photo of an event space, like a theater. And she's like, I want to do a prayer. I want to do a prayer event in this theater, and I want to sell it out. I'm like, perfect, let's do it. And she's like, but how? How in the world am I going to do this? I'm like, 50 years old. I don't even have a large mailing list. I don't even have a large social media following. I do not want to do Facebook ads or Instagram ads. How the heck am I going to do it? I'm like, don't worry. If this is a desire, God will show us the way. We will make it happen. And literally 5 weeks later, her whole theater show was sold out. So I was like, oh my God, you know what, guys? This is so amazing. And the thing that I loved most about it, I think everybody there loved the event, but what they loved most is seeing this amazing, beautiful 50-year-old divine soul show up for herself and say, like, okay, even if I have 2 teenage children who really need me right now and I have chaos in my life, I'm doing this for myself, and I'm doing it, and I'm going out of my comfort zone, and I'm making it happen. She was such an inspiration to every single soul there in the theater. And this is what the transformation is about. It's not about the actual portals we do. I mean, even though the portals are amazing, but it's more about the inspiration that we are to other people when they look at us and they see us fulfilling their dreams. Because that then makes other people want to fulfill their dreams as well. Okay? So I want to leave it at this. I want to thank you for your time, energy, and I wish you an amazing night or evening whenever you listen to this. Ciao for now.